Hey there, this is Ty with the Canix product team. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the non-cannabis product and non-cannabis lot uploaders in Canix. So there's a few reasons you might want to use these. One, for any initial import of inventory into Canix, of course. So if you want to get started using non-cannabis inventory so that you can track your costs, use bill of materials, automatically deduct costs in task management. If you want to take advantage of any of those features around costing, you'll need to have your non-cannabis inventory in Canix first. So aside from that initial import, there's a few other use cases as well, though. Let's say you want to update all of your existing non-cannabis products so that they have par levels, and you can see those alerts for when you've dipped below the par level. You can download your data out of Canix and re-upload it with the new par levels in order to update those. Another way these might come in handy, say you receive in a bunch of lots from one of your vendors and you need a way to quickly get all that data into Canix. Instead of entering one lot at a time, you can use the bulk uploader to upload hundreds or even thousands of lots directly into Canix. And finally, if you're doing cycle counts on your non-cannabis inventory as well, you can download your data out of Canix, record the actual quantities, and then re-upload those lots with the updated quantities to make sure your inventory is up to date. So a few different ways you can use this. I'm sure there are others as well that I didn't mention there. It's a flexible tool for you to be able to bulk create products, bulk create lots, and bulk update your NCI products and lots. So first, I'm going to walk through an example of adding new non-cannabis products into Canix. So let's say we want to try out some new nutrients from some vendors we haven't worked with before. If you're on the non-cannabis inventory table, you can select this bulk create update action, and this is going to take you directly to our facility data uploader. So the other way to get here is through admin, and you'll see it right over facility data. But it's a little easier just to jump to it from the table. So if you're starting, from scratch with new products, you'll want to download a template with no existing data. So this is kind of our blank template. It lets you just, you can pull inventory from an existing system that you're using, or just input data into a spreadsheet into this template and then upload. So I've actually already got a template set up for some new non-cannabis products, some new nutrients to try out in this facility. And so when you download your template, what you're going to see is these first two rows. I've gone ahead and added the new products that we're going to upload into Canix. You have a few different fields available in the upload: the name, the facilities that the product is shared across. If you need to, say you have a warehouse that's kind of in the middle of two facilities that are, in close proximity to each other, that's where you might want to share a non-cannabis product across multiple facilities. And for the formatting, all you need to do is enter the license numbers, so not the name of your facilities, but the license numbers in Canix, and separate them with a comma, and then you'll be able to share those products across facilities in the upload. You'll also specify the units for each product. You can see a list of available units in this Help Center article here. So we've got them all listed out here. You can also just see this in the product. If you go to manually create a non-cannabis product, you'll see in the dropdown all of the different options for units that you have available to you. Fractional deduction, this just means, is it possible to use a part of a unit? So unless you're using a unit of eaches for something like jars or lids or carts, you're most likely going to allow fractional deductions. SKU is an optional field. It does need to be unique between products if you do choose to use it. Category and location, these are for reporting purposes, and you'll need to enter a category or location name there that already exists in Canix for those to upload. And then finally, par levels. This will show you when you dip below that, it'll highlight the inventory and show you that you need to reorder. So This is what's in the template and what you can upload into Canix. I've already filled this out a little bit with some new nutrients that we're going to try out. So now I'm going to download this into a CSV and import it into our uploader and show you how this all works. So one thing you want to do before you upload, just delete this row with the descriptions of each of the columns. One other thing to mention, the unique identifier is only needed for updates, so we know exactly which product you are attempting to update. So no need to worry about that for bulk creating new non-cannabis products. So I just downloaded this data as a CSV, and now we're going to return to the facility data uploader and upload these non-cannabis products. So after selecting Upload CSV, you will be presented with this menu here. You can choose to either manually enter data, but in this case, we've got our data in a spreadsheet already. So I'm just going to upload that data here. Once this data comes into this table here, we're going to see the option to map different fields to the appropriate fields in Canix. So because I've used the template, all of the fields already map. But if you were downloading inventory out of a different system, maybe in your old system, it would say, you know, inventory name or item or product name instead of name. And so you would just be able to map which field in Canix corresponds with the field in your spreadsheet. So everything's already mapped here though, because we use the template. And so I'll continue on. Once this data loads into the spreadsheet, we'll see some validations start appearing. So for example, we've got an error here on nutrients. I accidentally hit an extra key while typing this in, and it's showing us that, hey, this category doesn't exist in your facility. So, this upload is not going to be possible. So I'll correct this, and we'll see our invalid rows are now at 0. So quick check that's easy to do before you upload is just to check this invalid sheet, make sure it's empty, make sure you make any corrections that you need to make there. One other thing I want to mention as well, for your uploads, you'll need to type in true or false for these to upload properly. So you can see the rows where I had typed in true. We've got it exactly how we want it, allowing fractional deduction. But for this row where I had typed in yes instead, that's going to default to not allowing fractional deduction. So I'm just going to flip that to true, just something to be aware of there. You can also edit and manage units directly in the UI here. You'll see errors as well, if you don't have the license correct for the facility. Or let's say I was to add a duplicate SKU, we would show an error that SKU is not unique. So these little validations are just in place to help make sure that when you are ready to upload, everything goes as smoothly as possible. So when you're ready, you'll hit submit. And once your submission goes through successfully, you'll see that submission recorded in the upload history here on this page. So we can see that 5 of 5 rows were uploaded successfully. If any of them failed, we would see 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, and you can actually re-download what you uploaded. So say maybe there was something you missed, you want to upload over again, you can download those rows, or you can download only the failed rows, and you'll see error messages in that CSV telling you exactly what went wrong so that you can correct it. So now that our upload has gone through, we can go and see these new products on the non-cannabis inventory products table. Let's say you made a mistake and for some reason you needed to clear out the uploads that you had just made. One thing you can do is add this created column to your table. And you can filter this to a specific date and sort this as well. So you can pull up just the products that were created at a specific time. That way you can kind of see which products were created together at the same exact time, and you know those are the ones that came from your bulk upload. And let's say we needed to get rid of these, we could just select them all, go to the actions menu here, and delete items. So that's if you made an upload that wasn't correct, you want to redo it, or need to reverse any of those changes. That's how you'd go about that. But in this case, we've got exactly what we want in the table here. One thing you'll notice though is we don't have any available quantity yet. That's because your quantities are all stored on lots. So lots are sort of the packages of for non-cannabis products. And to upload these, we can just jump right back to that same facility data uploader. So all you need to do is make sure you have lots selected instead of products. And then very similarly, we're going to download a template with no existing data. So I've already downloaded that template and pre-filled in some information for the lots that we're going to upload. Very similar to the product template in that you do not need to include the unique identifier for the lot itself if you're trying to create a new lot. That'll only be used for uploads. The name is the name of the lot. I think a naming convention that makes sense usually is some combination of date, the product name, and if you are receiving cases, different lots on the same day, some way to differentiate those. This is the name that's going to appear when you search for a lot throughout Canix to use in different parts of the product. So it's important that you try to name it in a way that it's clear what the data is and exactly what you're grabbing. If you don't select a lot in Canix, we'll just default to whichever lot had been received first. So kind of first in, first out. For the product unique identifier, this will need to be pulled from the non-cannabis product table in Canix. So what this ID does is it helps us to make sure we're mapping the lots to the correct products. In most cases, though, if you're pulling inventory from an existing system, obviously you're not going to have the IDs readily available. So you have to merge this into your template. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you'll need if you don't have the lots is at least to have the non-cannabis product names for each lot. So I filled in the names right here. I'm actually going to store them in a separate column for now. And now I'm going to show you where to find these unique IDs in Canix. So all you need to do is go to the products table, make sure you have that unique identifier column selected, and then download your products. So I'm going to open this CSV and I'm going to copy the data into this spreadsheet that we're working with. So I'll just copy it into a separate sheet, and then I'll use a VLOOKUP or index match formula to make sure we're associating these lots with the correct product. So for index match, I'll show how that works first. You'll simply select type index in this parenthesis, and then you'll go to this data we just downloaded and select the unique identifier column. What this is saying is we want to retrieve the unique ID on this sheet. We're going to say only when the product name here matches the product name in the new sheet that we just downloaded. The last thing you'll do is type a 0 and then 2 parentheses. What the 0 says is we want an exact match. So just to repeat how this is working, we're saying we want to retrieve the unique ID when the product name here in this sheet exactly matches one of the names in column A here. So you can see that this formula is working as expected. We grabbed the ID, and all you need to do is drag this formula to the bottom. You can see we'll grab the unique IDs for each of these products. So you can tell this is working. We've got the same ID for both of Jack's. We've got the same ID for the House and Garden product and Advanced Nutrients, 2 different products. They have unique IDs. So that's just how you'll easily bring these IDs into your uploader. And then once you have those IDs in place, you won't need the product names anymore. So you can remove that column. And now we have all of the information that we need to make a successful association between the lot and the product. There's one last piece here. We'll need to add our units. These units will need to be obviously compatible with the product. So if the non-cannabis product is in weights, you'll need to include a weight unit here. We'll also add the receive date. So this is a required field. It must be in one of the formats provided here. In this case, I'm just going to use year, month, day. And again, once you have everything set up, delete that first row. So you download this into your CSV and then head back to the uploader to bring this data into Canix. So now that I've got my template all situated, I will upload CSV. This is where all that validation is going to happen to make sure all of the data is nice and clean before we upload. So again, the mappings are all done for us because we use the template. And we're looking at 8 valid rows, so no errors on this template, and we'll just be able to upload this directly without updating anything. So once this is submitted and the upload has processed, you'll see the results of the upload in the status column right here. So we had 8 of 8 rows successfully complete. Again, if you have any that fail, you'll be able to download those failed rows and see the exact errors for each individual row. Now we can jump to our lots table and view these lots that we had just created. And here they are. So now we've got our new nutrients in Canix. And if we go back to the products table, we'll see that the available quantity has been updated for each of those nutrients as well.